We have to take a step back and understand what Hajj is. What exactly did Allah give us? Hajj is a rehearsal for the Day of Judgment. Hajj is a rehearsal for what? The Day of Judgment. You are dressed in the clothes that you were buried in. These are the clothes that you should have been buried in, shrouds. You have no material possessions on you to speak of. You are all equally peasant looking. The billionaire among you and the homeless among you looks exactly the same at Hajj, because that's what you're going to look like when? On the Day of Judgment. Now you come before Allah begging forgiveness, yes or no? And by the way, on the Day of Judgment, humanity will be gathered in the field of Arafah. That field. And Al-Hajj, the Prophet says, Al-Hajj al-Arafah. Hajj essentially is Arafah, the day of Arafah. You could skip other parts of Hajj and there are expiations. You can't skip Arafah. If you miss Arafah for any reason, your Hajj is done. You didn't have a Hajj. Hajj is a reminder that we will stand in front of Allah having to answer for our mistakes. But there's one difference. When we stand in front of Allah on Judgment Day, لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن. Nobody gets to speak. Allah tells you what you did, you just shut up and listen. You don't get to make excuses. لا تعتذروا اليوم. On Hajj, before it happens, before Judgment Day happens, you voluntarily, and by the way, you will go involuntarily on Judgment Day, whether you like it or not. حُشِرَ النَّاسِ. People will be herded together. But the herd that's there at Hajj is voluntary or involuntary? It's voluntary. And does Allah give you the chance to speak and beg for forgiveness? Yeah, so that you can beg now, so you don't have to worry about it when you stand before Allah on Judgment Day. You're supposed to go with the mindset that I'm coming before Allah, I am worth nothing like I will be on Judgment Day. I should consider myself dead already, and just like, you know how you like if somebody's like out at sea and there's no ship in sight or nothing and they just let go? You just let yourself go to Allah. There's nothing else on your mind. You've left the world behind. You know, don't worry about who's pushing you, whether you got to eat something or not, the hotel registration got late, the long lines for the passport. Don't worry about any of that. There's no air conditioning in your Mina camp. You know, don't worry about any of it. All you're worried about is you're here to meet Allah, to make your case, because you're going to be coming back here again. This is the pre-meeting before the meeting. You get to see the judge in his chambers before you see him in court. That's what this is. Can you imagine when you go there and that's what it's supposed to be, and then you're texting and taking selfies? And do you see what a problem that is? I don't have to call it haram. I just think you're crazy. You don't realize who you're messing with. This is a big deal. Complete the Hajj and Umrah for Allah. Go with that. It's not a vacation spot. If you want to have a fun vacation with your family,